everybody. Happy Halloween. Happy Dia de los Muertos. To all of you watching, thank you so much for tuning in for a fun weekly top 5, this time with the emphasis on Halloween, of course, and Dia de los Muertos. So I picked out some really appropriate cigars for the occasion, and hopefully you find them fun and exciting and accessible so that you guys can enjoy your fun week of smoking. Starting with number 5, we have this beautiful Maduro. This is the Black Adder Snake Tongue. So 3 of the cigars that are featured on this week's top 5 are straight from my Stogie Bird shipment, the Witch's Brew specifically. I thought it was a beautiful theme. I loved the artwork, I loved the bands, and I love the fact that it's a Stogie Bird exclusive, something that was done with Sam Leccia of Stogie Bird and Robert Caldwell to create the Lost and Found and specifically the Witch's Brew. So this Maduro Snake Tongue is just a beautiful cigar. So this one is featuring a Mexican San Andres Maduro wrapper, a Nicaraguan binder filler, rich notes of cocoa, black pepper. You get that semi-earthiness in the background, again with that beautiful Mexican San Andres tobacco. You get a plethora of wonderful flavors. Always on my list of favorites for being, again, just a really flavorful wrapper. Beautiful blend in this one, and again, I love, love, love the bands on these. Moving along to number 4 this week, I have busted out my my box of Tatuaje Pudgy Monsters. So every year I pull out one cigar every Halloween, and I've been doing that for the last, I don't know, 5 years or so. So the box itself, I think, is from, I want to say 2015, 2016, but it was one of the collections out of the Tatuaje Pudgy Monsters. So this one is the Chuck. When I first pulled this out, the cellophane, it was so yellowed, I could barely make out the color of this band, which is beautiful. Really excited to light this one up and smoke it. In fact, I had to reach out to Pete Johnson and ask him for sure, like, which cigar is this? Because I could barely tell the color of it, again, with that cellophane, because it's been in there aging so long in that beautiful box. So really excited. Again, it's kind of like a little annual tradition that I do. I treat myself to one of those a year on Halloween. So this is what I'll be lighting up later today. And it is the Tatuaje Chuck from the Pudgy Monsters collection, featuring an Ecuadorian wrapper, Nicaraguan binder, and filler. This one's earthy. It has a lot of aged leather notes to it. There's a little bit of peanut and then black pepper flavor that gets into the picture. Again, having been a while since I've actually smoked this one, I will revisit that, and you can follow me on Instagram for an up-to-date, just in case there's any changes in that flavor profile, because like I said, I think I've only smoked this one maybe one other time, maybe twice in the past, and so I'm excited to light this one up this year. But you can find these if you get on to, you know, sometimes different retailers collect boxes. I remember I bought this box at my very good friend out in Panama City Beach, Florida, Peter, who has an incredible humidor, in fact 2 of them, and he has like every cigar ever made, I swear. But he's somebody to reach out to if you're looking for special, hard to find cigars. You can always reach out to PCB Cigars. He's on Instagram, he's on Facebook. You can give a call down to the shop and tell him that Cigar Vixen referred you over there, and he'll take good care of you. Peter and Rinku, again, shout out to PCB Cigars. Next up, I had to feature this one on this top 5 because this is probably, and I've said it before in previous videos, but this is probably like my favorite artwork on any band, because as you are probably well aware, I love the whole Day of the Dead theme. I've always loved it. Every year I dress up pretty much the same. The variation comes from like little things here and there, necklaces, different types of makeup and whatnot. But I've always loved the whole celebration of you know, remembering our loved ones, and so that's the whole emphasis for Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos. I actually make a altar every year with pictures of my family and loved ones, and sadly, I mean, it tends to grow every year with the addition of people, but again, we're remembering their lives. And so I love the artwork on this Deadwood tobacco. This is the Sweet Jane, and it is one of 4 out of the overall collection of these beautiful sisters that have this really cool Day of the Dead drawings that have been done, again, exclusively for Deadwood Tobacco Company. These are done through Drew Estate. Not a ton of information has ever been disclosed about the blend itself, but we know that this one is a nice Maduro with the Connecticut broadleaf wrapper. Other than that, not sure about the ins and outs on the blend. It is a flavored or infused cigar, so it does have a sweeter side of it, although to me it's still something that's enjoyable. You do enjoy that sweetness. It's not like smoking just a traditional type of cigar. It definitely has more sweetness to it, but there's still really nice underlying flavors in it. So it's something that every so often, it's something different. It's something that I will treat myself to. Again, not very often. I'm not a huge fan of the overly sweet cigars, but again, every so often it's nice with, in the morning I like it with a cup of coffee. If you're drinking your coffee black, it's just kind of a nice little treat, for me anyway, in the morning. And in spite of the sweetness, I feel like you still pick up notes of coffee. You do get the chocolates, you do get that nice amount of sweetness in there, but you also do pick up some underlying notes of the traditional types of tobacco flavoring that you'll get. And again, it's just something that's nice. I do have a few good friends and a brother-in-law who love these cigars on a regular basis. So again, something for everybody in today's top 5. This one caught my attention for the beautiful band, although I did mention that all of the bands in the Witch's Brew collection and this month's Stogie Bird box, they were just amazing. So it was tough to narrow it down to just 3, but this one I really liked. It's the Old Root Hemlock. And again, just this really cool picture of a root. I don't know, I always like stuff that goes back to like the roots or like, I don't know, this one's probably not like a family tree, but it's basically just a tree. It reminds me of that. So I like it. I just liked the whole theme. And again, this one is an exclusive. It's something that's done just with Stogie Bird, and it was a collaboration with Caldwell Cigars. So it is featuring a Nicaraguan Habano wrapper, Costa Rican binder, Pennsylvania broadleaf, and Nicaraguan filler. This one is said to be refined and complex, which is a kind of a hard thing to accomplish, so I'm excited to actually smoke this one. I did have to reach out to Sam and ask him for a little bit more detail on the flavor profile because I received these cigars and I wanted to do this video, so I haven't smoked all of them yet, but I plan on doing that this week. So I again invite you to follow along with me on Instagram as I post pictures and light these up and talk a little bit more about the flavors that I pick up. These, of course, are borrowed notes, if you will, from Sam Lucia, who said, again, that this is a refined and a complex cigar. A little bit of spice and leather, also a little bit of nuttiness and black pepper. So we will see when we light this up if that's the case. I believe him. He has a really good palate. Which brings me to number 1 this week. Loved this band. I did receive a couple of these, so I had the chance to smoke one already. This is the second one I'm smoking. Really, really nice flavor profile on this one. It's the White Wolf's Tooth. And this one, again, being part of that whole Witch's Brew from Stogie Bird. I apologize if you're not a Stogie Bird member and maybe you're like, I don't know, sometimes I get comments like, why did you pick that? Because we can only get them from there. But you can jump on his website and you can order directly, even if, I think if you're even not technically a member, you can still order like just cigars from him. So this is something that if you're interested in getting some of these really cool ones, hopefully he still has them left and you can definitely jump on and order, you know, directly from him. So I've given you a couple different resources as far as recommendations on, again, PCB cigars if you're in the area, or I know he also does some phone orders for viewers of mine. So hopefully, you know, he's still honoring that again at PCB Cigars, or you can jump on to stogiebird.com and you can check out, you know, any of the other cigars mentioned here as well. So the White Wolf's Tooth is featuring an Ecuadorian Colorado wrapper, Dominican binder, Dominican and Nicaragua on the filler. Nice amount of sweetness, little hints of it. There's some cedar in the background. There's a light anise to it, as well as a little dab of cinnamon kind of sprinkled in. It is, from what I can tell, fairly refined and definitely balanced. So this is a great cigar, and again, a cool collection. I love it. It was just in time for the season. I'm somebody who's very festive. I enjoy celebrating all the different holidays as they come. And I, of course, invite you to do the same and post your pictures on Instagram. Tag me. I'd love to see what you guys are smoking, what you dressed up as, all of that fun stuff, or what kinds of things that you do to celebrate your holidays. So thanks again for tuning in and spending a little bit of time with me. Be safe out there, have fun, and God bless. Cheers.